Did you know there are 12 towns along Spain's Costa del Sol that offer more than just sunshine and beaches? From secret promenades to authentic fishing villages, this journey will completely change how you see the coast. At each stop moving west to east, I'll share local tips on where to eat and what to skip, if you want to avoid tourist traps, and experience the Costa del Sol like a local. Before we start, hit subscribe and join our community of explorers getting practical travel guides on exceptional destinations around the world. At number 12, we start in Estepona. Estepona immediately feels like a postcard brought to life. The old town is full of narrow, whitewashed streets, each lined with bright flower pots and carefully chosen colors that make every corner look like it was designed for wandering. Small squares such as Plaza de las Flores invite you to pause and enjoy a coffee. I remember finding one tucked-away cafe where a simple café con leche cost less than €2. One of those little surprises that makes the town feel especially welcoming. Beyond the old town, a wide promenade stretches along the coast like a living botanical garden planted with palms, tropical flowers, and sculptures. Long, sandy beaches provide plenty of space to relax away from crowds. And near the marina, you'll often find family-run seafood spots or simple chiringuitos serving fresh fish straight from the market. At number 11, we arrive in Marbella. Often called the Queen of the Spanish Riviera, it's a place of sharp contrasts. Marbella's Old Town, or Casco Antiguo, is one of the most intact and atmospheric on the coast. Narrow streets of whitewashed houses overflow with flowers and open out into squares like Plaza de los Naranjos, where fountains and cafes create a slower rhythm. Wandering here feels like stepping into an older Spain, surrounded by churches, fortress walls, and timeless charm. But only a short walk away, modern Marbella reveals itself with polished promenades, designer boutiques, and waterfront restaurants. For a taste of local life, escape the main avenues and look for tiny family-run tapas bars hidden in the Casco Antiguo. Fried anchovies or baccaronis and chilled gazpacho are classics. If you're watching your budget, you can often find a menú del día at small restaurants just outside the center for a fraction of the price of the waterfront. At number 10, we come to Puerto Banús. This is Marbella's polished marina, a place built for show. Luxury yachts line the docks like floating mansions, while the promenade is flanked by designer boutiques and glossy storefronts. Walking here feels less like stepping into a village, and more like entering an open-air showroom of wealth, with sports cars parked casually along the curb. The evenings are when Puerto Banús really comes alive, with bars, cocktail lounges, and clubs, all within a short walk of each other. If you want the marina atmosphere without paying premium prices, stroll the dock for people watching, and then slip into backstreet cafes just a few minutes inland. Here, prices drop fast. At number 9, we have San Pedro de Alcántara. This is a town that feels grounded in its fishing village roots, offering a much calmer rhythm of life compared to its famous neighbor. The old seafront stretches with wide sandy beaches that rarely feel crowded, and the promenade is filled with locals taking evening walks or chatting over simple seafood meals. I liked walking the beachfront there at sunset. Fewer tourists, more families and neighbors greeting each other. San Pedro is also a good spot to escape Puerto Banús's glitz and find simpler, more affordable food and a stronger sense of local life. Seek out the smaller seafood places tucked along the shore, where what's on your plate often depends on the morning's catch. At number 8, we have Fuengirola. This town is especially popular with families, managing to feel both lively and authentically Spanish. Its long seaside promenade, stretching roughly 8 kilometers, is a highlight, lined with palm trees, children's play areas, and plenty of chiringuitos where you can sit down for fresh seafood at reasonable prices. The beaches are wide and clean, giving everyone space to spread out, while the busy squares and markets keep that everyday Spanish feel. For a touch of history, walk up to Sohail Castle at the end of the promenade. It's an easy climb and worth it for the views and photos. If you're here on a Sunday, check out the large market near the fairground area. Arrive early for the best deals and fewer crowds. Between the affordability, the food options, and family-friendly attractions, Fuengirola works well as a base on the coast. At number 7, we arrive at Benalmádena Costa. Benalmádena as a whole is divided into 3 very different areas. Arroyo de la Miel, which is the busy hub with shops, restaurants, and the train station. Benalmádena Costa, with its wide sandy beaches and vibrant marina, and Benalmádena Pueblo, an old hilltop village with whitewashed streets and panoramic views. Each part has its own character, so it's worth knowing what you want before choosing where to stay. Down on the coast, the marina is lively day and night, lined with shops and restaurants, yet still affordable compared to other marinas along the coast. Just behind it, the quieter back streets are dotted with local tapas bars. Croquetas are a staple, and you'll often find them homemade for a couple of euros. For a relaxing pause, Parque La Paloma is close by, a green escape where peacocks wander freely and families gather. As we continue uncovering these exceptional destinations, don't forget to hit subscribe and join our community of explorers getting practical travel guides. At number 6, we stop in Torremolinos. Known as the first big beach resort on the Costa del Sol, it drew celebrities back in the 1950s and still thrives as a major holiday destination today. The real highlight is La Carihuela, a 2-kilometer stretch of sand that remains the beating heart of the town. It's lined with chiringuitos where you can sit right on the beach, surrounded by colorful umbrellas and the sound of waves rolling in. Seafood is the star here. Grilled sardines, prawns, and paella make up most menus. I like ordering arroz caldoso at a seaside spot. It's a rich, soupy rice dish that always feels like pure comfort. In the evenings, I love how the whole strip smells of grilled fish at dusk, mingling with the sea breeze. At number 5, we come to Malaga. This is the cultural heart of the Costa del Sol, where a proper city center sits right beside golden sand. Malagueta Beach is the easiest spot to see that blend. Just minutes from the old town, lined with chiringuitos grilling sardines fresh on skewers. It's a classic place to sit with a drink and watch the sunset without leaving the city. What I love is how you can combine a beach day at Malagueta with a short walk into Malaga's historical core to visit the Alcazaba and the Picasso Museum. For quieter sundown drinks, skip the crowded squares and look for a simple terrace along the promenade. And since Malaga is the region's main hub, it also makes a great base if you're planning day trips further along the coast or inland. At number 4, we have El Palo and Pedregalejo. These are former fishing neighborhoods along Malaga's coast, and they've held onto a very local feel that makes them different from the busier city beaches. The seafront promenades here are lined with family-run chiringuitos, and the specialty is espetos, fresh sardines grilled over open flames right on the sand. It's one of the most affordable and authentic meals you'll find anywhere on the Costa del Sol. The evenings are especially relaxing when locals gather along the promenade for walks and the sea breeze. Just note that many of the smaller coves and beaches here sit a bit lower and are reached by steps, so it's worth planning ahead if mobility is a concern. At number 3, we have Torre del Mar. Just 45 minutes east of Malaga, this beach town offers a more relaxed, authentically Spanish atmosphere. The beach itself is long, wide, and clean, easily one of the best spots on the eastern Costa del Sol. Running alongside it is a 3-kilometer palm-lined promenade, perfect for cycling, jogging, or simply taking a slow walk by the sea. Food here is simple, affordable, and fresh. Sit down at a casual beachfront bar and try fritura malagueña, a mixed plate of fried fish that locals love. Prices tend to be much lower than in the glitzier resorts, which makes Torre del Mar a smart base if you want long days at the beach without straining your budget. At number 2, we have Nerja. This town combines dramatic scenery with a welcoming coastal vibe. The Balcón de Europa is its most famous landmark, a promenade perched on cliffs that overlooks the Mediterranean and connects to small coves like Playa El Chorrillo and Cala Honda right below. Just a short stroll away, Burriana Beach stretches out with golden sand, lively beach bars, and plenty of spots where you can sit down to a plate of paella. For something different, the Nerja Caves offer an underground world of vast chambers and ancient formations that feel almost otherworldly. One thing to keep in mind, most beaches require going down steps from the old town, so if mobility is an issue, plan ahead. At number 1, we have La Herradura. This small town gets its name from the horseshoe-shaped bay that makes it stand out on the Costa del Sol. The curve of the shoreline creates naturally calm waters, giving the place a much quieter energy than larger resort towns nearby. The water here is incredibly clear, which makes the bay a favorite for snorkeling and scuba diving, while kayaking along the coast lets you reach small coves tucked into the cliffs. These are best enjoyed when the weather is calm and local providers rent out gear and offer starting points right along the beach. When it comes to food, look for family-run beach restaurants serving fresh fish grilled over open flames. Meals are simple, affordable, and often paired with a view of the bay itself. The Costa del Sol isn't just about beaches and big resorts, it's a coastline full of contrasts. From Estepona's flower-filled streets to Nerja's cliffs and La Herradura's calm bay, every town adds something different, whether it's culture, food, or quiet relaxation. If you want the energy of busy promenades and easy transport, stick west of Malaga. For quieter coves and whitewashed villages, head east. Malaga itself makes the best hub, with cheap day trips by Cercanías train saving plenty compared to taxis or car rentals. Which town surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more local-style travel guides.